Fight Back really did start with this particular segment because, as we've seen earlier this year, their brand over at ITV This Morning, well, literally went into meltdown after the disgrace of the former presenter, Philip Schofield, and of course then sadly Holly Willoughby decided to step down after a few personal complications. So as you can imagine, this could have been the perfect gig, the perfect comeback for the former royal known as Meghan Markle. But once again, seemingly, she gave it all away to another royal. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. Neil Sean here. Nice to have your company. And as ever, thank you so much for joining me today. Lovely to see you. You all right? Yes, absolutely. We'll have a wave. Yes. Lovely to have your company, seriously. This was a big sort of success really for the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, because obviously, it's tricky times. She is making her own living and that's the gig, that's exactly what she's doing. But I kind of sort of think, I'm not quite sure if this is the right arena for her. I think a lot of people do enjoy her podcast, Tea with Sarah. It's a very easy listen. And of course, she had a lot of success with her own YouTube channel, of which she was doing all those children's stories, which kicked off really during the pandemic. Very successful for her. But now you see, she has a bigger problem, or should I say, ITV have a bigger problem. You see, this particular segment with Sarah has proven very successful. Obviously, you have to test a few more. And more importantly, as I said at the start of this video, ITV ideally would have liked Meghan Markle to come over and do something similar, or indeed perhaps host via another studio down the line from Montecito maybe. This could have been very lucrative and actually a big mistake on Meghan's part, because this may have made her a little bit more warm, a bit more welcoming and a bit more human. All we've seen so far is Meghan trolling up and down red carpets or indeed waving to fans out and about. We don't really get to hear any voice from her, only those set speeches. Now, what ensued, of course, was Sarah Ferguson came across as fun, frivolous, and more importantly, a little bit saucy, offering some advice to viewers. Now, you see, the bigger problem is this. Can ITV actually afford Sarah Ferguson? Let me explain. You see, way back in the halcyon days when the show was hosted by Philip Schofield and Fern Britton, normally per show they could get anything from £7,000 per show to £15,000 depending on who you were, i.e. Philip Schofield, around about 15 grand a show. A lot of money, as one can imagine. Now, ITV have a set budget, and obviously in this very difficult cost of living crisis, and particularly with ad revenue at an all-time low, they have to find money from somewhere. Now, I've been told that Sarah's fee is rather substantial, and yes, they would like more of it, but what they have to work out now is whether, of course, people will come in, advertisers, so, sponsors, backers, in order for them to be able to fulfill and keep on paying said fee. Now, as I said at the start of this video, it's going to be interesting because if they don't get the backers and they don't get the viewers, then sadly, this will just simply fizzle out. But of course, if they'd signed Meghan Markle up, or Meghan had been clever enough and had the foresight to maybe even test the water with this, perhaps her money worries, her troubles, and of course the ongoing battles that she has with her half-sister Samantha and the rest of the media could have simply been over. The podcast had been a success for Sarah, it wasn't for Meghan. The TV show has been a success for Sarah, and so far it hasn't for Meghan. You see a pattern building here? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.